in the likeness of God. Created in the likeness of God. Now Webster said likeness is a resemblance of an image, a picture. We know how it is. People can make the image of it out of clay we call a statue.
Yeah.
So these are the things we want to be created in the likeness of God. So the Ephesian church, Paul's right to them because in my Bible it says it's the sevenfold walks of the Gentiles.
All right now.
He said things that we ain't supposed to be involved in.
All right.
What we supposed to be doing? We supposed to be in the image of God. So he started off that this I say therefore and testify in the Lord that ye henceforth walk not as other Gentiles walk in the vanity of their mind.
Yes.
And we always say that's the first battleground, don't we?
Amen.
Your mind, the images of your mind. Sometimes that's we say we want to be created in the likeness of God. And we say likeness is also images. And images is what you appear, what seems to be right in your mind.
Yes.
And so we put our own images, our own statues, what we think things that were good should be, and how we, and folks justify their evil even in their mind.
Yes.
You know, people can always justify.
Yes.
Kill me, I knew a friend, he would always kind of justify whatever he was doing. You catch him, he said, oh man, you know, I just had a few things, and I was only, I only drink on, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I try not to drink on Monday, but I ain't like Leroy who drink all week long. And I said, well, what does that mean? I said, do you hear yourself talking? You trying to justify that you are alcoholic? I said, it don't matter if you don't drink as much. In other words, you mean you don't get drunk every day.
All right.
But you drink it every day.
Yeah.
I said, I don't care how you justify it, you're still in the same state as Leroy.
Amen.
You drink it every day. That means you're an alcoholic. You got to have the substance to get up in the morning. You got to have the substance to go to bed at night.
Yes.
That means you're an alcoholic. So I was saying how people how they justify in their minds what they think that God's likeness is. But the Bible said we was created in the likeness of God. And so even though we understand the images and things that we perceive what God is, and some folk perceive he's white, and some perceive he's black, and some perceive he's Asian. That ain't got nothing to do with what we were perceiving that God is what the same thing he told Moses when he was up on the mountain. He said, the ground you stand on is holy ground. So whatever image it is, the statues and the resemblance and image of God, everything God is, it's holy. And so Paul speaks to them saying, having, and went on to explain that that fallen nature of the Gentiles, he said, having their understanding darkened, being can't see, being alienated from the life of God through the ignorance that is in them. Because of the blindness of their heart. In other words, that these folks, even though these some folks in Ephesians that understand what God wants them to do, they refuse because of their ignorance. That's why I said when Paul speaks sometimes he was talking about, he said, thou unexcusable old man. So ain't no excuse when you know what things are right. It says, but being past, he said, 19th verse, who being past feelings have given themselves over to lasciviousness, to work on cleanliness with greediness. But ye have not so learned Christ. He said, even though these folk, now these are people that done understood what God wants them to do. But somehow in their mind, they got mixed up. And thought they could walk in the same form of life and form of lust, not having their deeds mortified or clean in the purpose, but say they have not learned Christ. They ain't understood it. They ain't comprehended that they're supposed to be in the likeness of God. And so say, if so being that ye have heard him. Comprehend. You got to be able to hear what the scriptures are saying.
Yeah.
Heard what he has said and have been taught by him as the truth is in Jesus.
Yes. Yes.
If they had comprehended the testimony I have given them, and them that are stood that live righteous and holiness before, if they had come home to that and heard the word and took home and taught and said the truth is in Jesus, not in themselves.
Yes.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation of old man,
Yes.
which is corrupted according to the deceitful lusts.
Yes.
That's what it is. That's the old man. The old man is do what I want to do.
Yes.
Whatever satisfies me.
Yes.
Whatever makes me happy.
Yes.
And this one said they put off that consumer, that former conversation of the old man. And the word conversation means the old life, the old walk, the old behavior. Put that off. It's corrupted. He's saying, he said, and 23rd verse, and be renewed. Here we go with that renew again. In the spirit of your mind. That's the first battlefield. Here we go in the likeness and the image of God. We got to have the picture that is true and right of Jesus Christ. I said, even though we have put it on, we got to understand he was without fault or blemish. Even Pilate said, I find no fault in him. And tried to wash his hands of it. He said, but they allowed him to do what they wanted to him, but he didn't find any fault in him that he should be crucified. It said, renewed in the spirit of a mind, and that you put on the new man, which after Christ is created in righteousness and true holiness. Oh, here we go. That's it. We got to be renewed in the spirit of our mind.
Yes.
So our minds have to have the resemblance and image and understand what God desires of us.
Yes.
How we should walk. What is our purpose? We don't want to be what? We don't want to be in our former state, which was being alienated from the life of God. That's what sin put a gulf between you and God. That's what he did. He said we was created in the likeness of God. We got to understand we're trying to get back to where Adam was in the garden before the fall.